Isn't it funny how this male Karen could confidently flip off the officer, ask to talk to his supervisor, and then drive off, all in the same breath?
Go off, go f***ing faggot. Bitch! You're a clown!
But then, things got real too quickly, and suddenly, this male Karen and his wife cry wolf like the crybabies that they are.
Listen to him, he's fucking hitting my...
Here are times when male Karens messed with the cops and got dealt with.
Get him over here!
Doing?
Holy f***, help me! Help me, I won't...
Send somebody now! He's got a gun on my husband!
He's tripping balls! Hurry
Send
up!
someone now!
Help me! Help me! Help me! Holy f***, me!
Gates, what are you doing?
With this incident, one of the first impressions you get is that this guy seems to be a regular and responsible citizen trying to file a complaint at the police station.
And just kind of like it's.
We figure the guy he's conversing with is a plainclothes cop who is perhaps taking some time on his break to do a few stretches.
Yeah.
Because people think you can't record me and I'm in public. Yeah, you can, because this camera, look, this camera right there.
But then, surprise, we snatch a few words from the convo that are quite odd. It turns out this male Karen is at the station to file a complaint against the station itself and not a neighbor. Good luck with that. The cop he's casually talking to outside kinda encourages him too, even though this same male Karen has been charged with trespassing in the recent past. What will happen now?
The Kennebunk Rest area, and I made a special trip up here.
Yeah, just to go see Lewiston Housing?
Just to go see Lewiston Housing, because they didn't say by appointment only or anything like that, so I had all my stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm
so
here.
You're looking for housing, or what is it?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm looking
I can
for
tell you
housing.
there's no housing in there.
I know there's no housing in Lewiston.
I
know. I was going to talk to them about maybe transferring me to Biddeford. Hopefully they'll.
Then Sergeant Michael, as you might catch from his name tag, shows up and hands him a written criminal trespass warning, which the male Karen always insisted he wanted.
No problem.
Apparently, a verbal warning didn't suffice in his mind. The male Karen then asked for 4 personal complaint forms, which he hoped to fill against 4 separate cops within that very precinct. Clearly, the officer was polite even though this guy has nothing better to do with his day than seek out some trouble at the very place he wasn't supposed to be. Sergeant Michael graciously went over and got him just 1, not 4 forms. According to procedure, you don't need 4 complaint forms because there was room to air all your grievances on just 1 set. What you see is not multiple forms, but just 1 to be attached to a full written plain paper report. So there's the cover form and some extra plain pages of paper. At least the cop was generous.
Now listen, you got a pen on you?
4.
I want body cam footage.
The male Karen even asked for a pen and then some cam footage. The nerve. As always, there are protocols to follow. The officer prepares to leave him, but then this male Karen couldn't help himself. He just had to ratchet things up a notch, didn't he?
Because I'm involved in it, so I can't give you more information. Well, then why are you here?
This Karen did what he had to do to get attention, yeah? Classic male Karen behavior by hurling insults and lies at Officer William. At this point, we've set the precedent by telling you this guy isn't supposed to be stepping foot on this office to begin with.
I'm gonna go over there right now. Bye. You're threatening me with death and violence? Is that what you are? You puke? You piece.
Then he barges in and challenges everyone, and that's 1 crime. Next, he lies against the officer in full glare of the camera. You be the judge. Did Officer William ever threaten him with violence and death, as he says? Never. We were watching it unfold the whole time. It's understandable if Officer William had to rough him up a bit, or heck, even a lot, because this male Karen was right smack in the middle of committing a misdemeanor. He knows he's in big trouble as he's being arrested.
Don't. Shut up. Hit me.
In his defense, he blurts out, "I didn't use any profanity." Lies. We just heard you say a while ago that the officer was effing puke. Did he just ask about what he's being arrested for? Officer Williams has the answer. It's for disorderly conduct. But then there's also threatening an officer of the law and resisting arrest as you're being taken to a holding cell. And here's the best one. Whining like a baby while being cuffed, which is typical of all male Karens.
Stop hurting me. Ow, he's pushing me.
Next up is 2 airplane incidents. Rest assured, they don't involve terrorists, only just male Karens at their worst. Has some youthful exuberance gotten any of you into trouble before? Well, this guy causes quite a stir on his flight to the point where the pilot opts for an emergency landing in the middle of the flight. But really, how crazy could it have been?
That's it, I don't want to talk to nobody, I just want to get to my fucking spot, man!
They say he was forcing some footsie action on a fellow female passenger and arguing with an attendant at the top of his lungs when confronted about it. Perhaps he smoked something just before boarding? And you'd notice throughout the video that he continuously insists he wants to get back to his spot, wherever that is.
What would I do? Why? Because you would do! Look, you're causing disturbance on the plane. They flattened the plane because you're... Yeah, they with me. Afterwards, I yelled at him back and I up and I sat there. I was waiting to get off the plane. That's it. I don't want to talk to nobody. I just want to get to my spot, man!
He's taken off the plane. Hooray! Why would anyone be that way and choose to cause such a scene in such a sensitive environment? But clearly, this guy has no chill whatsoever and continues to argue with the cops blindly.
How you doing?
And here's that other thing about his skateboard. It's supposed to be his most valuable piece of luggage, and he refers to it a lot. Understandably, the interrogating officer starts by questioning his mental health. But before you stereotype him as an obvious rebel type, just you bear with us and follow the lead of the cops.
Can I get my skateboard? Yeah, we're gonna...
Fortunately, it doesn't spiral into fisticuffs, but the manner in which this guy yells at the officers suggests otherwise at first. The situation is only brought under control when the arresting officer calmly insists he's not getting back on. This male Karen is having a meltdown right now. And then there's the FBI. You heard the officer despite the background noise, right? Apparently, incidents involving a plane in midair are under federal jurisdiction. So congratulations, Karen. You've now been bumped up the ladder. This male Karen, and might we add, creep, is finally arrested. At some point, he mentioned passing through the correctional system for 15 years prior. We're sure the guy still serving time would be happy to welcome him back. This second flight disruptor is a much older guy. Certainly, he doesn't deserve to have grandkids. Hopefully, his kids keep him away. What sort of man gets crazy drunk from the complimentary booze on a flight? Mind you, this footage was unofficially taken by one of the passengers. The flight took off from Los Angeles and landed safely in Salt Lake City, Utah. And the police had already been alerted and were waiting. This guy is 61 years old, but certainly doesn't act his age.
Don't fight it! Really? Already went off! Wrong day. Sit. You are being power hungry bunch of fucking son of a bitches! You're right.
From being impatient to get off the plane, to mouthing off all sorts of profanities, to flipping off the pilot who insisted he stay put, this guy was surely a piece of work. Apparently, everyone had to remain seated till the cops came around to pick him up. He was the star of the show and didn't even realize it.
God bless
Did you get that? I think of America as not a disgrace. Plus the typical Karen behavior, which is acting surprised that you're being arrested.
A disgrace?
He is hurled off the plane, literally, and even the gangway doesn't seem to like him. Again, he blames the cops. And then it's boo-hoo all over the place for close to 5 minutes straight. And we must warn you, it gets really sad and extremely incoherent as far as this or any other male Karen out there is concerned. Clearly, he's just drunk as hell and the alcohol is beginning to turn.
Stop! 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 Hold on. Stop! You're making it!
What are the purple safety gloves for, though? This guy is as drunk as a skunk, and can you guys barely see that he has hurt himself? Might even be infected with a contagious disease that he hoped to spread in one final suicide act? Just checking.
I give my truck. I just wanted to.
Strangely, he keeps saying 13 soldiers got killed in Afghanistan. Do you understand? But this guy is clearly too old to have fought in the relatively recent US-Afghan war campaign. Perhaps he's possessed, and this means something else entirely. Whatever the case, he is charged for public intoxication and disorderly conduct. This male Karen is also taken to the hospital, but what he really deserves is to be checked into a mental rehab facility. So that's it for male Karens today, but there's always more where that came from as long as humans exist. So stay tuned and remember to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it when it drops.